Interpreting Parables and Symbols in the Most Important Religious Texts Part 4. By Abdelmoumin Ahmed. If we contemplate main central figures of the Bible, we find recurring generational triads across different times and forms, such as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We also encounter another triad in the wife of Imran, her daughter Mary, and her grandson Jesus Christ. This pattern is reminiscent of the triad of grandmother, mother, and daughter found in the life story of the Holy Mother, Hak Ja Han Moon. All of this relates to our understanding of the prophecy about the handmaid of God giving birth to her mistress, mentioned in the famous hadith narrated by Umar ibn al-Khattab. Umar ibn al-Khattab reported, "While we were sitting with the Messenger of God, Prophet Muhammad, one day, a man appeared before us wearing exceedingly white clothes and having extremely black hair. No signs of travel were visible on him, and none of us recognized him. He sat down close to the Prophet, resting his knees against the Prophet's knees and placing his hands on his thighs. Then he said, 'O Muhammad, tell me about Islam.' The Messenger of God replied, 'Islam is to testify that there is no God but God, and that Muhammad is the Messenger of God. To establish prayer, give zakat, fast during Ramadan, and perform the pilgrimage to Mecca if you are able.' The man said, 'You have spoken the truth.' We were astonished that he both asked and affirmed the answer. He continued, 'Then tell me about faith.' The Prophet said, 'It is to believe in God, His angels, His books, His messengers, the last day, and in divine decree, both its good and its bad.' The man said, 'You have spoken the truth.' He said, 'Then tell me about excellence, ihsan.' The Prophet replied, 'It is to worship God as though you see Him, and even if you do not see Him, He surely sees you.' The man said, 'Then tell me about the hour.' The Prophet answered, 'The one being questioned knows no more about it than the one asking.' The man said, 'Then tell me about its signs.' The Prophet said, 'That a handmaid will give birth to her mistress, and that you will see barefoot, naked, and destitute shepherds competing in constructing tall buildings.' Then the man departed, and we remained for a while. The Prophet said, 'O Umar, do you know who that questioner was?' I said, 'God and His messenger know best.' The Prophet said, 'That was Gabriel, who came to teach you your religion.' This hadith is a profound text that calls for a worthy and spiritual interpretation. It must not be confined to superficial or worldly explanations. The prophecy about the barefoot and destitute should be understood in the same spirit as the words of the Virgin Mary, the mother of Christ, who praised God for exalting the humble and bringing down the mighty. In this sense, the barefoot and naked symbolize human beings stripped of worldly attachments, pure souls who will build a great spiritual civilization. As for the concept of dependency, we can interpret it through the verses describing the Prophet's condition before receiving the divine message. The Holy Quran states, 'Did He not find you an orphan and give you shelter? And He found you lost and guided you. And He found you dependent and made you independent. Therefore do not oppress the orphan, nor repel the beggar, but proclaim the grace of your Lord.' Quran 93:6-11. Here, the orphan without shelter represents one who lacks divine spiritual parentage. The lost refers to one who does not yet know God, and dependence expresses the heart's concern for guiding others to God. God's grace signifies the blessings of guidance, divine protection, and divine fatherhood. Thus, the exaltation of status, the elevation of the spiritual edifice, and the state of dependence can all be interpreted in this spiritual light. Thank you.